everybody, I'm Yo-Yo and you're watching Urbn 24/7's Meet Lena Waithe, a producer and writer whose film, Dear White People, got rave reviews at the 2014 Sundance Film Festival. We caught up with Lena as she talked to us about what it takes to be a writer and producer, the journey to Sundance, and her rendition of Rise and Grind. Check it out.
My name is Lena Waithe. I'm from the south side of Chicago, hood adjacent to be specific, and I'm a writer and I'm a producer as well. I knew I wanted to be a television writer when I was 7, and that's a rarity, but I was sort of helped along by a show called A Different World. I saw that show and just knew then that I wanted to be in television and I wanted to do whatever it is that those people were doing. I wanted to be a part of that world, and I just knew that was something special. I knew I had to leave Chicago to come to LA when I was in college, because that's sort of, and I went to Columbia College in Chicago, and that's something they sort of really push their students to do. It's like you either gotta go to New York or you gotta go to LA. But in Chicago is sort of, you can get so far there, but if you really want to take your career to the next level, you have to go to either New York or LA. So I was always aware that I would have to make the move, but the thing that really helped me was a program that Columbia College had and still has, which is called Semester in LA, where you can spend a semester in Los Angeles. And you get to sort of come out here and work on scripts and intern and get to know people out here, you know, just in the city, and that's what I did. And I did it my last semester. So my last couple weeks of school, I was out here in LA working on scripts and getting professional feedback, and it really sort of felt like home. I was like, I gotta go, you know, just be out there where everybody is and be around people like myself that are obsessed with movies and television. And my mom was like, okay. And so I came out here and I just really sort of hit the ground running. I started interning for Tracy Edmonds right away. Then I started working on The Real World. Then I got an assistant gig at Girlfriends, and just sort of really just kind of went from there. And then from there, I got a gig working for Gina Prince Bythewood on her film, The Secret Life of Bees. So I just kept getting job after job after job after job, and I just felt more and more at home. And then I started building this sort of community and these friends that I have, and I really just started to feel more like home, even though I'm always going to be a Chicago girl, always be from the South Side. But LA sort of became this home away from home for me, because it's like they say, home is where your heart is, and my heart is in what I do. So being here in LA, I just feel like I belong. There are oftentimes when people talk to me about failure, talk to me about adversity, talk to me about the hurdles you face as a female writer, as a black person, you know, as an LGBT member. To me, it's like none of that matters, because this is sort of what I was born to do. It's not a career, it's a calling. So for me, there's nothing to fall back on. There's no plan B. This is it. So I don't see it as adversity. I just sort of see it as, okay, that happened, and so there we just continue and move forward. You know, I love, Keenen Ivory Wayans said this. I think his father told him when he decided he wanted to drop out of school to become a comedian full time. His father said, well, I would love it if you could at least just finish college so you have something to fall back on. And the great thing that Keenen said is like, well, if there's something cushy for me to fall back on, I'll allow myself to fall. But if I can look back and see nothing but concrete and like rocks and like, you know, cracks in the ground, I'm gonna do my best to stay standing. So I think that sometimes there's nothing wrong with looking back and seeing, you know, concrete on the ground, because, you know, if you really want to do it, and if it's really what you're supposed to be doing, you're gonna do your best to stay standing. The difference between dreamers and doers is follow through. That's the only difference. You know, it's like, who's the person that's gonna follow up? Who's the person that's gonna do what they said they were gonna do? And who's the person that's gonna really take the initiative? So to me, follow through and taking the initiative, that's a winning combination. The Dear White People journey was long, but I can make it pretty short. Justin had an amazing idea about sort of writing a satire about the new Jim Crow and what racism looks like now. It's fresh, it was interesting, it was smart, it was brilliant. What happened was, he had a couple producers attached to it, Ann Lee, Angel Lopez, and they were sort of trying to help him, and they really liked the idea. I had a lunch with him and was like, you need to dust it off and do something with it. That kind of gave him a little bit of a nudge to start working on the script again and making it tighter. We did a table read. The table read was electric. From the table read, we tried to do a concept trailer. The concept trailer made all of us famous. It was like sort of like, he was on CNN, it got 1 million views, it raised almost $50,000 in a few days. It sort of put us all on the map. Then from that, Stephanie Elaine, who produced Boys in the Hood, Hustle and Flow, Black Snake Moan, came on board and was like, yo, I want to help you kids out. I want to be a script producer. Fantastic. She then hired FET Brown, who became a producer and really sort of was like handling logistics and got us across the finish line. There were a couple studios that were interested. We were thinking about signing with a studio, but then Julie Lebdev, who was a friend of Angel and Ann's, who has her own independent wealth, said, I'll give you guys some money if you're willing to bet on yourselves, which we were. We did that. She's like, here's the deal. She's like, if you bet on yourself, well, you got to get into a really good festival and hope to God you get some distributor, because I can't do that for you. So we bet on ourselves, took the money, went to Minnesota, shot the film in under 30 days, edited very quickly, submitted to Sundance. We got in, and now here we are. Going to Sundance was a dream come true, period. We were happy to be there. To be in competition was even more of a dream. That was really huge, and it was very much an honor. And then at the award ceremony, because we didn't get, audience award, we didn't get grand jury awards, we thought like, okay, so we're gonna go out empty-handed. And when they said we're gonna give you guys a special jury prize award for breakthrough talent, to us, it sort of solidified our presence there. And it really sort of said to us, they were like, look, we don't want you guys to walk away without knowing that we think you guys are pretty brilliant and pretty good. And so it was icing on an already delicious cake. That's the only way I could think of it, because we really had the time of our lives. I mean, the film has been well received. I mean, a lot of these reviews were coming out. Audiences were, we were sold out weeks in advance. So we had a fantastic experience. We had a wonderful condo. There were hot tubs. We were meeting, all kinds of celebrities. We were celebrities, in Park City. So we were good. But the fact that they gave us an award for sort of breaking through and sort of and being a breath of fresh air and being new voices in American cinema, that was just sort of, a cherry on top of a wonderful Sunday, because we were just like, this is amazing. But I think what it says is that there's a new sheriff in town. And I think that for us, it's fun, it's cool, but it's also, we take great responsibility, and we know that we have our work cut out for us, and we are hard workers, and we're in the gym, and we're in the lab, and we're gonna keep working, we're gonna keep moving forward, and we're gonna keep making great art, and we're gonna challenge other artists to be better. That, to me, I think is always a goal, and is important, because it's not just about, the longevity, it's about a legacy. And I think that's sort of this is only the beginning. And so I think people should really stay tuned, because we got a lot of stuff up our sleeve.